I'd like to start thanking our sports secretary, Mr. Navneet Sehgal sir. I hail from Meerut, and Meerut was primarily portrayed, by the series like Bhokal. So that's, a lot of people know about Meerut. But apart from this, Meerut has been a city who's produced some of the best bats, and there was a time when most of the international teams used to play, by the equipments or the bats manufactured in Meerut. So I'm going to cover up, next 15 minutes, I'm going to cover up one important aspect of, aspects of, the trillion dollar economy. There has been among us work done, what all components are required. There is an able team built by government of UP under the leadership of, Honorable Chief Minister. And, we are very confident being a part of UP that, we are going to achieve that. I think behind every achievement, one most important thing is the vision. Once that is in place, rest all is execution. So we are waiting, for that. Yeah, so since, I come from a background which covers one particular, part of the overall plan of execution, I'm going to touch upon the, the infrastructure connectivity part. So three important, aspects apart from the vision and, the plan. The other most important aspect of, the road to trillion-dollar economy is the connectivity. And we primarily can, define that into three categories. One is physical connectivity. That's the road infrastructure, the airports. Once you have industry set up, how you are going to transport the material back. Another is the people's connectivity. India is the country of population, and we need an infrastructure, which ensure that every single, person of India is connected through internet. But most important aspect is the digital connectivity, right? This is something which brings, or bridges the gap. One of my industry friend was talking about, our identity is becoming digital. That's very true. And while identity is becoming digital, it also creates a need of, having a solid connectivity so your identity is there, right? Until you do not have a sync with, your identity somewhere stored in a cloud server, it's not going to work. Some landscape or some facts about digital India. Though in last few years, you would see we have a tremendous growth, in terms of amount of data transportation. The people or the number of users connected over internet. India in last 5 years become, number one or number two in almost all the social platforms. But the other side of reality is almost 50% of people, which is like 60 to 65 million, are still, waiting for a very reliable and sustainable connections over internet. So this is the need, and this is the massive need. It is not only, going to help achieving the trillion-dollar target, but it is also important from the point that today almost every single, be it people, place, or things. So when we say people, people are the ones who are using mobile phone. Places, from one place to other place, and things, any, industrial environment. For example, farmer sitting in a village, somewhere in Unnao in UP, having an IoT RFID tag, which needs to have that data back somewhere so that, he can operate his, water pump, sitting somewhere else, right? It is not possible without having a reliable and sustainable connectivity. Some other trends which are going to, be very important while we are considering our growth, which is like 4 times. So UP is been contributing roughly about 20% in the country economy, be it the population, no, sorry, not the economy, but overall. So be it population, we are about 25 CR plus, while the total population is, roughly about 135 CR. Be it number of prime ministers, I think we still have 20% stake in overall. But most importantly, post-COVID, some of the situations which has been changed, includes having a culture or, like work or study from home, or you could say reverse migration, right? A lot of companies are allowing, and especially because it's been a longer period of 2.5, 3 years. A lot of reverse migration happens back to the villages. Then massive supply-demand disruption. Global at global level, there has been a challenge which is being established, re-established now, and the cost effectiveness, right? COVID especially pushed back to build very sustainable and cost-effective solutions. We also, while we are talking about the trillion-dollar economy, we also need to ensure, and especially, looking at the trends, that while we are talking about smart cities kind of setups, we also need to ensure that we have smart village, right? Until we do not have a sustainable connectivity, we would not be able to produce, enough skilled manpower, or we would not be able to, provide enough environment where someone can work, working in one of the US companies sitting in one of the village in UP. Just a glimpse of what we do at Cambium Networks. We are a Motorola spun-off company. Back in 2011, we got spun off. We sold more than 12 million wireless devices, roughly impacting about, I can say roughly 100 million plus. If I count one device is impacting 10 people's life. We are leader into all the broadband and wireless connectivity solutions, starting from the fixed broadband. We make solution, starting from the 220 megahertz, which is the lowest spectrum for connectivity, up to 86 gigahertz, which is as of now is one of the, on the upper side. So various solutions to ensure that, any need of connections, we have a product in place. We have a massive R&D center in Bangalore, where 300 plus engineers sits, and almost 100% software developments, design, and all these things we are driving from our Bangalore R&D, and we are recognized by major analytical firms like Gartner or Forrester or IDC. The bigger challenge while we are talking about the connectivity part, so the moment we say connectivity, the primary mode of connectivity comes in mind is fiber, right? That's been one of the predominant. Radio or wireless has been one of the optional one because of the less throughput or feasibility. But other side, some of the facts. When we say connections, 70% of the cost of a network comes from the last mile. Okay, the people who are from the connection, the telecom background, they would understand well that major investment happens from the last mile, and that's where we play a vital role. Using wireless broadband can not only save 30 to 50% of the overall cost, but it can also help increasing the uptime. One of the the downside of fiber networks is heavy maintenance and the uptime. And I'm sure there is a data available supporting my statement over there. While radio broadband uptime is in generally high, and especially on the last mile, that's a solution which can really help. What we offer is, we offer connectivity from 2 meter to 245 kilometer. When I say 2 kilometer, sitting, gentleman here connecting on a Wi-Fi access point, that's 2 meter. And it could go up to, 200 plus kilometer where we need to connect one city to other city. And, the end applications, which could be part of, the overall infrastructure development. It could be a public Wi-Fi hotspot for a smart city, smart village, or it could be a surveillance system deployed to ensure that there is a 24/7 monitoring with a 99% plus kind of uptime. Or it could be any industrial telemetry bringing data, starting from oil rig which is 20 kilometer inside the deep sea, or it could be the data collection from a farm. Few things to just support my statement. The longest link on radio is on Cambium, where we established one point to other point, almost 245 kilometer. This is the longest link on record on the unlicensed band. Or be it the highest Wi-Fi hotspot. Mount Everest Base Camp is the highest Wi-Fi hotspot as of now. Where we have taken connectivity about 700 kilometers only on wireless. It's a multi-hop, and the longest point-to-point link is about 98 kilometer. talk about, one of the best Wi-Fi, especially considering, the requirement of the rural areas or the urban, public hotspot coverage. And recently I was going through, some of the news, and UP government has announced the Wi-Fi hotspot connectivity for about 58,000 panchayats. So, this kind of solutions can really help, and probably this is one of the best industry access point which, in a field trial we connected over 1 kilometer. So even on a ground, if we say half of this, you can easily expect 800 meter to 1 kilometer coverage only through one device. Right. We have been serving communities, not, being a US company, we serve into 150 countries, and we have been serving communities globally. With some of the, the partners like Facebook Express is one of the partner with whom we are doing deployment, not only in India, but, in a lot of African countries. We have some guests, international guests from Ghana, and that's one of the area, where we are massively deploying public hotspot to ensure that their remote people are connected. Talk about the villages in India. Under part of Digital India initiative, we have deployed more than 30,000 hotspot. In fact, in UP, we deployed more than 6,000 hotspot covering, roughly about 1,800 villages, 5 hotspot, 4 to 5 hotspot each village. And, these are some of the smiley faces, that's what makes us pretty happy. These are the pictures from UP itself. Not only this, when we talk about our solutions, they are expanded right from, the campus requirement, like I said, the connecting the people. So be it, the education campus, hospitality, healthcare, or be it in a house, it goes up to the, the high SLA-driven deployments that includes, the surveillance setup. We are under deployment of, we are revamping actually the surveillance setup of city of San Jose, where they are using the next generation technology called 60 gigahertz. Very low latency, very high throughput. In Australia, one of our partners is deploying again the statewide deployments named Pentanet. Then disaster and military, we have some very purpose-built products, made for military uses and defense uses. And, the industrial deployment like, transportation, ship-to-shore connectivity. So Cambium offers, any mode of transportation required to carry your data from one place to other place. And especially, some of the sessions before to me from the industry was around, the cloud and, the data storage. So I can summarize that our job is to ensure that data moves from your mobile phone to their data center smoothly. And, I'm very proud to say that almost every vertical, so, this conference is Taj Hotel, that is one of the proud customer for us. They're both the Delhi properties, we deployed, and there are, hundreds of such references. So, you talk about a reference, you talk about a deployment, we would have a solution to ensure that, with a very highly reliable, highly scalable, and, highest uptime, we would ensure, your network is there. So with this, this was my last slide. We have a booth. In the interest of time, I tried making it short and sweet. So thank you very much.